Shaving. Shaving. All right. Shaving. All right. About time for us to go in and test out of this chapter. So, what is the objective is for you to be able to retain as much information about shaving as you can, right? So that you can answer any question about shaving without having to look in your book. Now, I'm not telling you don't look in your book. You guys can open your books and we can do this exercise together. Who can tell me how many questions you could expect to see on your state exam for shaving? Shaving alone. Who can tell me? 15 questions. That's absolutely right. That's 15 questions. Let's have a shave discussion this morning. And let's see how many questions I can answer about shaving. This is what I want you to be, this is what you should be saying to yourself. How many questions about shaving should I be able to answer, right? Now here's what you gotta understand. Your state exam tests you on basic minimum competency. Everybody understand what that means? The basics of what you do. There are certain things, right? So when your exam is developed, the question that the state is asking themselves when they develop the questions for you to have to answer on your exam, they want to know, what is it that right? Because you're students and then you're barbers with only 1,000 hours of experience. It's safe to say you're not going to learn everything that you're going to learn within 1,000 hours, right? Do we agree to that? So what do I absolutely positively need to know to be able to go out and perform this service safely, effectively, in a safe and sanitary manner, right? And so your questions will be guided toward those basics that you need to understand to do this service effectively. Everybody, let's dig into it and we'll figure that out. So we know that our shave is done in how many phases? Our shave is done in 3 phases. Shave is done in 3 phases, right? What are those 3 phases that the shave is done? Preparation.
Shave.
The shave itself. And the finish. Right? So you just identified one potential question right there. Right? So we know that the shave is done in the preparation phase, the shave itself, and in the finish. Before we start the preparation though, what do I have to do?
You have to analyze.
I have to analyze. So my first step is going to be to analyze, right, whether or not I can even perform the shave. Right? What am I looking for when I analyze the face to determine if I can actually perform the shave?
Any skin irritation.
Skin irritations. All right. Infections. Anything that will prevent me from performing the service. All right. When I analyze, I'm looking for anything that will prevent me from performing the service, right? Right? And you just said that's any kind of infections, all right? Abrasions, chapped skin, things of that nature, right? Now, once I've analyzed and I've determined that I can move forward with the shave, what am I looking for now in the actual hair? What am I identifying now with the hair? What do I want to be able to identify? Say again? The grain of the hair. All right, so man, growth patterns, heavy beard. What else? What characteristics specifically will I be looking for? Of course, what characteristic is that? Texture. What is the definition of texture? I did it twice. So they answer this question. What is the definition of texture? Who can tell me? You just said how it's described as coarse, fine, or medium. But it's defined as the diameter of an individual hair strand. The wider that strand, the more coarse it is. The smaller that strand, fine, right? Coarse, fine, medium, right? Everyone's hair has a texture. Face, beard, hair, head, all hair has a texture, right? And so, growth pattern, direction the hair grows. Why is it important to know the direction that the hair grows? Because we have to do what? You have to shave with the grain. Ding, 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 ding. Now that will fall under the execution of the shave. That will fall under the execution part. So shave with the grain of the hair. All right. So we've decided whether or not it's coarse or fine. Now, why does determining whether it's coarse or fine matters? What is that going to tell me about my service? What about preparation? If the hair is more coarse, then what? It's going to need more steam, right? Right? So we're in the preparation phase. We've analyzed, we can move forward with the services. We've analyzed the hair itself. So now we know we're working with a coarse beard. So in the preparation phase, I'm going to need more steam. Now, what does my book directly tell me that steaming the face does for me? It softens the hair. It softens the hair. All right, so now let's get into the actual preparation phase, because we're performing in 3 phases, right? What all am I going to do in the preparation phase? We know we're going to steam, we've said that. What else needs to be done in the preparation phase before I move forward to the actual shave itself?
Lather.
Okay, lather. So we know we lather, we steam. What have we not done that we're going to need to do for our client before we even start lathering and steaming?
Let the client rub.
Oh, yeah, but drape. We have to drape. We have to drape our client. Even if we've already performed the haircut, right? We know we're going to drop our chair cloth. We're going to lay our clients back. We're going to change our drape to a shave drape now, right? So we got a drape. We said we have to lather the face and steam the face. We said that steaming the face softens the hair. What does lathering the face do for me? What does lathering the face do? What is lather?
Lubrication.
What is lather though?
Like the actual term?
Shaving cream. What is shaving cream? In his body. Soap. Is it not the type? It's soap. Our lather is soap. Remember? Soap. So what does soap do? All right. What else is our lather doing for us? Our book tells us it does something else for our hair to make it perfect for shaving. The steaming softens it, assists with that, but I'm looking for another answer. It makes where your book's at. I know the answer. You need to know the answer. Lathering the hair, it cleanses the hair face, and it also makes the hair, I'll start the sentence for you, makes the hair, come on.
Easier to finish.
More manners?
They use specific terms, and the reason why I push y'all with this is because you need to understand that every question on your test is referenced in your textbook. So you need to know exactly what your textbook is saying to be prepared, right? Now, all right, lathering. Preparation. Lathering with a shaving cream or gel cleanses the skin, softens the hair, you said that, right? And it helps hold the hair in an upright position for shaving. Helps hold the hair in an upright position for shaving. So you need to know that too. Because you can see either one of those as an answer choice, holds hair upright. Another word for that could be holds the hair erect, right? So that's what lathering does for us, right? So how many more questions was that? At least 3, I know. So we've identified 10 potential questions, and we're still just in preparation, right? Right? Good morning, Mr. Salvador. How you feeling this morning, my brother? All right. Glad to see you was able to brave the weather and get here safely. Didn't I see Mr. Grumbles too?
Yeah, today.
All right. Well, to all of you, man, that were able to get here safely through this weather, man, good to see y'all this morning. All right. Moving forward in your career choices. All right, we shaving. We still shaving. All right, preparation. We've draped our climate. We've lathered. We've steamed. How many times do I lather and steam?
Twice.
What's your answer? You just started with something else.
Like, depending on how coarse the beard.
Depends on how coarse the beard is. Way to come in, Salvador. We just said that. Right? Now, that's one of those things that is at the discretion of the barber themselves. You as a barber, you will analyze that hair. You will know if that hair needs to be steamed more than once. Remember the gentleman a couple days ago? One steam towel, all he needed. He was very fine, very low density, and hair barely resisted the rays at all. Probably, didn't need hardly any steam. Moist, okay, we'll get into execution here in a sec. So we're still in preparation. All right, we drape, we lathered, we steamed. All right, our face is now prepared to shave. Right? Our face is now prepared to shave. Morning, Mr. Grumbles. When I'm ready to execute my shave, what do I need to make sure about my chair?
It's like lean back.
You definitely gonna lean back, but what else? What do I need to make certain happens?
You put a covering over the back of the head.
I need to make sure I have a headrest cover. What else?
Is it like
Locked in up.
I need to make sure the chair is locked. Come on. I need to make sure my chair is locked. If I'm right-handed, where do I stand in reference to my clients to perform the shave? On the right shoulder. If I'm left-handed, it's on the left side, right? So we're going into the execution part of the shave, right? So I know that I turn my client's head. If I lock my chair, I'm over his right shoulder because I'm right-handed. I perform the shave from right there. I don't walk around the chair. I don't turn the chair. I turn my client's head to create the smooth, flat surface. Everybody get that? All right, now's the fun part, right? We know we shave with the grain. We said that already. What do we have at our disposal to assure that we are shaving with the grain? And it is described as the correct angle of holding the razor while cutting. Cutting strokes. Cutting strokes. The correct angle of holding the razor, cutting, right? How many strokes do we have at our disposal? 4. What are they? Freehand. Backhand. Backhand, reverse freehand, and reverse backhand. Now, we got freehand, backhand, reverse freehand, reverse backhand. How many of those strokes do we execute when we're doing a facial shave? 3. What 3 do we execute? Freehand, backhand, and reverse freehand. When do we use the reverse backhand stroke?
On the neck.
During the neck shave, or arch on the sideburn. Absolutely right. On the opposite side of whatever hand you are. Okay? So we know we have freehand, backhand, reverse backhand. How many areas of the face do we have to shave? There are 14 areas, right? So we know that there's 4 strokes, and there's 14 shaving areas. All right? 4 strokes, 14 shaving areas. Don't be surprised if you meet a barber somewhere that says, yeah, the 14 strokes. No, it's 4 strokes, 14 areas. You need to know that in case you're asked that in the form of a question, right? Now, here's the fun part. Who can tell me what stroke is used in each area without looking in that book?
I think that's me.
You think you can tell me what stroke is used in each area without looking in your book?
Yeah.
Go for it. 1.
Freehand.
Hold on. Let's do this shit. Let's do this shit. You find some right. 1. You say it's freehand.
Yeah.
2.
Backhand.
Backhand. 3.
Freehand.
Freehand. Okay. 4.
Freehand.
Okay. 5.
Reverse freehand.
All right. 6.
Backhand.
Okay. 7.
Backhand.
Okay. 8.
Freehand.
9.
Backhand.
10.
Reverse freehand.
11.
Last freehand.
11 is freehand. I'll take that. 12.
That's like either or.
Either or what?
It's either freehand or backhand.
Okay, optional freehand or backhand. Okay, very good. 13.
Is reverse freehand.
Reverse freehand. And 14.
Reverse freehand again.
Reverse freehand. Let's see. 1, freehand. 2, backhand. 3, freehand. 4, freehand. 5, reverse freehand. 6, backhand. 7, backhand. 8, freehand. 9, backhand. 10, reverse freehand. 11, freehand. 12, optional. 13, reverse freehand. Very good, Mr. Sadu. That's absolutely correct. 1 through 14. These are, you just answered 14 potential state exam questions. Y'all see how that worked? Yeah. So we identified 16 questions before we even got to that. That's another 14 more questions. This is the basic stuff, right? This is the basics that you need to know if you're gonna execute this service efficiently, safely, effectively, right? We still got some more to discuss. We still got to finish the shave. Now, what type of shave are we performing? Are we performing a standard shave? Are we performing a once-over shave? Are we doing a standard shave with the second time over? Are we close shaving? Who knows the difference in the characteristics amongst those? Because those are specific terms with descriptions that you need to understand. So if I'm doing a standard shave, I'm going to do a one time over and a second time over, right? First time over, second time over. During the first time over, I'm executing these strokes as you described. What am I doing during the second time over? I'm doing freehand, correct? And how am I, what stroke am I using? You just said freehand. How am I shaving the hair?
The flow of the way the hair is going.
Okay, first of all, if I'm doing a second time over, what am I doing? With the grain or across the grain, that's correct, but what am I doing? I'm cleaning up any stubble or hair patches. Right? If I'm doing the second time over, I'm cleaning up any stubble or hair patches. This is the standard shave. First time over, second time over. Cleaning up stubble, hair patches, using freehand stroke with the grain or across the grain of the hair. If I want to eliminate the second time over step of the shave, what type of shave do I need to perform?
Wait, if you want to eliminate.
If I want to eliminate the second time over step of the shave,
So make it just a once over shave?
I need to perform a once over shave. Very good. Well, you on fire this morning, Mr. Sadu. I need to perform a once over shave. How do I know that I'm performing a once over shave? What is the difference? What am I doing when performing a once over shave?
Hitting all 14 areas.
I'm hitting the 14 areas, but what step am I adding to my first time over? Because I'm only gonna do a once over. I'm not gonna do a second time over. So there's another step that's added after I complete each shaving movement in each particular area. And what is that?
Pretty sure it's you shave like with the grain and then you come right across the grain. Or
You add a few extra strokes across the grain when performing a once over shave. It will eliminate the second time over. You're basically doing your second time over as you go through each particular area. Everybody get that? All right. So you have the standard shave, you have the first time over, you have the second time over, you have the once over shave. What is close shaving?
Shaving against the grain.
Close shaving is the practice of shaving the hair against the grain. It is not recommended, right? But at times it is requested. With experience, over time, you will come to realize what type of clients can receive a close shave without damaging the hair or causing any type of irritation. Which leads me to a question that I never asked when we started this presentation, which is another potential state exam question, and that is, what is the objective of a shave?
Clean all the hair, face without causing irritation.
To remove all the visible portion of facial hair without irritating the skin. Very good, Mike. All right? So look, man, y'all have racked up 20 plus 4, y'all racked up 34 questions already. We haven't even started the finishing portion of our shave. Right? But how much of this information can you reach out and grab without having to go into your textbook? Because at PSI exams, you will have to go into your memory bank and pull out this information. All right? So, standard shave, first time over, second time over. Close shaving, the practice of shaving against the grain. Once over shave, adding a few extra strokes across the grain after completing each shaving movement. Right? And then we have one other type of shave, and what is that? That assists a haircut. A neck shave. And a neck shave is essentially shaving what area? The nape area. Right? Below the edge line after completing a cut. Not all clients will desire a neck shave, but there are those that will. Okay? You as the professional have to be able to determine that. And of course, this also adds another service to your tool bag. The bigger your service the bigger your service menu, the more services that you can offer and execute, right? Effectively, efficiently, satisfactory to your clients, the more earning power you have. Y'all see how this works? All right? But you can't get behind the chair and earn those dollars until you first pass the state exam. All right?
Can you say I'm not getting confused sometimes. The one time over shave and what's the first one?
Okay. Pay attention to the terms. First time over.
First time over. That's
Second time over. Right? First time over. Second time over. Standard shave. Right? Once over. Not first time over. Once over. Right? That's essentially a first time and second time all in one, if you think about it. Because what you do in the second time over, you simply do as you're already doing the first time over. You add it as you execute through each area. And that's the only difference between that first time over, second time over, once over. Right? So the once over is the first time over and the second time over all in one. Don't let them get you with the word play. Because that's all it is. It's all the same stuff, if you think about it. It's just a matter of when am I going to perform it? Am I going to do it in this step or am I going to do it in that step? Right? And that, like most of what we do, is determined by who? The client? What'd you say?
State board, or like,
No, let me ask it again. Whether I'm going to perform a once over shave or a standard shave using a first time over and a second time over, that will be determined by who? By me. Everything that you do is at your discretion. That's what this means by science and art, right? Like the science part is the fact that I need to lather to cleanse and soften and steam to soften. That's the science part, right? Speaking of which, I left out a question. When I'm executing my strokes, what's the angle that I want my blade in relation to the skin surface? 30 degrees, right? Somewhere around 30 degrees. I also need to do what? What's some other things that I need to remember when I'm executing my razor? I need to stretch the skin. I need to shave away from my stretching point, which means my thumb should be behind my razor. How long should my strokes be from my stretching point? 1 to 3 inches, which means my razor should never get 3 inches, further than 3 inches away from my thumb that's stretching the skin, right? What's the term that the book uses to describe how the skin should be stretched? Taut, T-A-U-T, correct. See, but we're racking them up. I'm gonna stop taking score. But everything that I've asked you is a potential state exam question. Y'all get how that works? Right? And everything that I've asked you is just a basic to this service. We still haven't got to the finish. Right? So, all right. Analyze, preparation, shave itself. We've identified the different types of shaves. Now, after I shave, I have to finish my client. What are my steps to finishing my shave? MAP. What does MAP stand for?
Moisturize, astringent, powder.
MAP. Moisturizer, astringent, powder. In that order. Moisturizer, astringent, powder. Alright, so basically a mini facial on the shaved area. So now this really could be a good time for me to do what? Upsell for a facial. Right? I just up my ticket. You're gonna do a mini facial anyway that's with the shave. Now you're just gonna go ahead and do the whole phase. And you just upped your ticket. Right? So moisturizer. Something to moisturize the skin, because once you've executed a straight razor, even though you can't see, that's an implement so sharp that you're actually scraping that epidermal layer, right? So you want to you've exfoliated that skin in that hair, basically, right? So you want to put some moisture back in there. Astringents. What type of astringent or toner do you want to use? Something mild, non-alcoholic, something that's not going to irritate the skin, as it's already in a fragile state. You just scraped it with a straight razor. It's important also, we left out one of our characteristics. It's important for us to do what when we're stroking that razor? We said we want to stretch the skin. We said we want to angle our razor at 30 degrees. We left out one that's really, really important. What's that? What's going to assist me in being able to do that and also help my razor glide? Make sure what? I definitely want to lead with the point of the razor, but I haven't said that. What do I need to make sure that I do with the skin? Keep it what? Moist. Keep the skin moist. That's probably the most important one, right? Keep that skin moist, right? Dry shaving is a no-no. Even if you're doing an edge line, my advice to you is to put some type of clear shave gel, just a light coat. Doesn't have to pack it on, But you don't want that skin completely dry when you execute the razor on it. You want to moisten the skin. All right? All right, so moisturizer, astringent, all right? Witch hazel, tone, or something mild, something that's not going to irritate the skin. And then powder. What is my powder going to do for me? Bring it to a matte finish. I like that answer because that's what your book says, right? So the thing I need for y'all to remember and understand, every single question on your exam is referenced in your book, with the exception of the regulatory questions, which is referenced in your rules and laws book. But when it comes to the basic execution of everything that we do, shaving, haircutting, etc., manicure, that stuff, those questions come from your text. All right? So always be guided by what your book says. Know those terms, right? And the more terms you know, the more you understand, just like your classmate told you yesterday. Understanding how the exam is developed and strategies to taking the exam is what's going to help you be successful at passing the exam, right? It is a multiple choice exam. You have 4 choices, right? That means you have a 25% chance of getting it right even if you don't know, right? They give you 25%, right? The next thing you want to do as a strategy of taking exams is when you take a multiple choice exam or any type of exam, it's a timed exam, right? And you will be able to go back and forth through the exam until you submit it, right? So the first time you go over your exam, only answer the questions that you're certain you know the answer for, right? The ones that I know the answer. I only want to, if I'm not certain, I'm going to skip it. I'm going to bookmark that question. I'm going to come back to it, right? What's going to happen is, and understand that exams are designed to avoid this, but you may see something in another question that's going to trigger an answer for you in a previous question that you was unsure about, right? Because no matter how many ways they word a question, there's only so many ways you can ask a question, if that makes sense, right? So if you know and understand the basic building blocks, right? If you know the basic stuff, there's no question that they can ask you that you won't be able to rationalize your way around because you understand the basics of it. Everybody get that? All right?